All right. Hello, everyone. It's Katrine, and we will go through a few things that we updated now in our 3.0 release. And you will see a few new tabs, and I will also shortly go into depths of the storybooks, and then I will make separate videos about that because that's quite a new bigger feature we have now in AI Grimm. So let me see if I can actually move this thing here aside because it's right over my screen, and for some reason that's Loom now. Just wait a second. I'm gonna try to move it. I don't know how to move it. Okay, anyway, you will see the dashboard. Then you will have your assistant. I called Katrinchen, Quick Chat, business prompts, workflow partner, storybooks, and your Intel team. The REST image generator, AI Grimm Core Studio, and the Mega Content Creator was also already there. So the two new things is, first of all, the tab Storybooks, and second of all, you have now a gap finder in addition to the funnel magic report that was already there. So let me just start here because that's a pretty simple one to explain. This one works by credit, depending on what level you are. If you're free, pro, or premium, you have 3 credits available or 5 credits for the funnel magic report. That basically gives you 3 free reports on the gap finder and 5 free reports on the funnel magic report. This all might change in the future. So right now we have these two things, and we will need to see how the adaptation works and how everything works with credits now. But for now, everyone will have, especially the ones that have the premium, you have quite a bit of leverage in terms of creating storybooks. So let me just explain you quickly what Storybooks is. So as you know, we have the assistant, and the assistant has all of your files in here, and you can chat with your files directly. You can also create new chats. You can create with the chat and all sources, and you can let the file system just know and get everything out of it, what you want to build. Now, Storybooks is much more project-based, and I'm going to show you my test account, how it looks when it is a little bit more built out. So each of these folders here, which when you come in, it's pretty empty, and we're going to create one in a moment. But when you come in, you have the possibility to create in the premium membership up to 50 different folders. Then you will also have, and you can see the numbers here. So here are 9 out of 50 storybooks available. I'm premium. That means that is the highest tier we currently have at AI Grimm. Then you have the files you can put into Storybook. It says right now 50 here. So we are still working on that a little bit, because the assumption is that you're getting files out of your assistant, but you can also upload new URLs and so on. So we are refining this. This is not the final. That's why it says beta. It works perfectly fine and it's all good, but we are still refining when it comes to document upload, limits, AI chats, what we are needing, because it's a completely new way of working inside of AI Grimm. And then AI chats, you actually don't even need that many chats because it's not truly a chat service or feature, the storybooks. And you will see that in the moment. It is much more to create something from scratch based on a set of files and then create immediately sellable products out of this. And there shouldn't be too much of chatting back and forth, just for clarification, but you'll see how it works inside. So you can search for your storybooks if you have a lot of them in here, and then you will also be able to go into each of the storybooks. Now, just quickly, the credit tab here is already out since quite a while. So if you saw it, you probably have been thinking, it's like, what is this? What's brewing again? So these credits here relate directly to the storybooks and also the Intel team. Everything else is covered anyway in your account, also the chats and everything else. But if you need to create, let's say, a 200-page book, that costs a lot of money in the back end. So we need to somehow compensate this through our credit system now. And not everybody creates a 200 or 400 page book immediately every single day. So the basics are there. and everything is covered under your account, but we do need to set a few limits on how much everything is going to cost. And again, it can change up or down. We don't know yet, and we'll test it out. So when you are coming in, let's go back here, and you create a new storybook, you will just put in the title of your project, basically. So let's say we are working on, let's say we are going to go and work on a workshop or a course. Let's do a course. And the course is going to be, I don't know, the 3 oils. I'm not very thinking the 3 essential oils. 3 essential oils. And then you can put a description in here, small workshop course for my school community, for example. Okay. And then you click create storybook. And then the first screen you'll see is empty, obviously, because nothing is in there. But imagine this one is just your new playground, your new folder right now. You're going to upload documents to specific to this project. Now, let me just show you around a little bit what you see here, because there are a few things you really would want to know what's going on in here. The very first thing is, if you come in empty, you will see an upload file here, and you will also see an upload document here. They're both the same. It's just depending what you like. You also see split screens. You can drag back and forth. Important is when you, let's get this one out. Here's like a little show magic builds. This one comes out. So there's a split screen of 3 panels, and those ones all work together from left to right. You can now also have this little navigation bar, was already there before, make it just more narrow. And then you have icons. You can still hover over them, and you will see what they are all about if you forgot in what sequence they are. You also have the possibility to have the 3-column view and the 2-column view. So that one takes the files away, and this one will give you the files back, depending where you want to focus on. I always like, obviously, the Zen mode because it gives me the most playground. But on the other hand, I don't always need to see all the magic builds right now. So I put this away, and I might just want to work with this file. So it's specific to what you're currently working on. You can put this back and forth. So you can only have chats, and you can have the 3-panel view, but make sure you put the builds in, and then you can go back and forth, 2-panel, 3-panel, 2-panel, 3-panel. And if you don't need the magic builds, you use this little arrow on the right-hand side and put it away. Okay, let's focus on just uploading documents right now. And I'm going to show you that you will be able, if you click add files, you can do it here, or you can do upload documents over here. So if you're uploading documents, either way, you have 2 options. You can link from your assistant, and you can search for files, and you can get a whole folder over with all the 6 documents if you have created folders previously in the assistant. But you can also use the drop-down window and just simply select a document, a single document over here, and then it will be dragged over. So let's say, for example, we're going to take the Q&A, link document, and then it comes up here on the left-hand side immediately. Then in addition, I'm going to talk this in a moment, but in addition, what happens is when you add a document, you immediately see a few things coming up here, and those ones are your quick start helpers. So always think, again, one more time, the project, the Storybooks, is about projects and monetizing on your knowledge. So when you create a new product, you should be using the Storybooks, for example. When you research, brainstorm, ask questions, everything else, you should use the assistant. So the preparation happens in the assistant, and then you can think about how to productize and monetize on your knowledge. So, and that can happen in many ways, and we will see quite a bit what's coming up. So first of all, upload everything specific to the project. Again, you can take the files over from the assistant, but if you add additional content, you can upload more files from your desktop. You can add now an URL from anywhere you want to. You have seen that already in reps, but you can now add an URL from your YouTube channels or from a website or any other TikTok accounts or whatever you have. You can add those URLs, and then you can obviously still paste in the text as well. When you add an URL, there's a limit on this too, because that in addition is quite a bit more involved. But if you just come over to any of the URLs and let me see, the 3 essential oils, and you come over to your YouTube channel, or you probably, I don't know if I have essential oils. Let's say we're going to do the product here, and I'm going to use the URL, and I'm going to come back and just shoot the URL in, and then the title of the video. It's optional, but you probably want to do a title so you recognize it back. You add an URL, and then it will be ready in a moment. Come up here, and then basically comes with the entire transcript. You can also open up your files here, and that is all as it is normal. Now, the next thing is that you can start talking with your files. So let me just go back over and show you how it looks like when it's a little bit more built out. I'm gonna get rid of the magic. So here you have several files coming in, reps, and you can make it a little bit wider. The ones where it says magic builds, I used already the magic build folder over here. I used any of these ones, and I'm going to come to that in a moment. All of the other files will tell you what kind of files there are. There's a website, there's just pasted text, there's a PDF file, and it says here URL, and markdown file, just a text file, and so on. So you will see how these ones are. You can select them all, or you can deselect them, or you can also just select a few and start chatting with your files. And it says then here chatting with 2 selected files. When you start chatting with your files, this is where the number came in, what we saw earlier, where it says you have 50 AI chats available. That is exactly for this part here. But we have a new AI voice down here, or a new helper. It's called the Builder. I would encourage you to not switch around with this one. You can, but this Builder voice is really built to create products for you that are sellable. So when you change it to anything else, you will lose the prompt in the backend, the system prompt I put in for the Builder, and then it might be not as good anymore as you would want it to be. You can play around. Of course, you can switch around, you can choose another voice, but do be aware of that it might be that the results are not as good as just keeping it on the Builder. This one here, you know already, that's pretty much the same. Right now it's on Claude Sonnet 4. You can also, the alternative always for me is Claude Sonnet 4.5. And that is a little bit more when it's in-depth thinking, but you can change that around. And then this one here, you know, from the assistant, it's pretty much the same. Remember that this little arrow here from the documents is definitely here to download. Once you have talked to your assistant or the chat here, you can download this file and add it back into your files over here. So when you select all, you can create something, build a launch plan, create a content strategy, package in multiple formats. Any of this ones you can try to see. Everything is about monetization. Everything is about creating a product. If you sell it or not, that's up to you. I encourage you to sell it. But everything is around how to make money with your knowledge and your content. So creating an ebook, you can just hit and play around. And that's probably the best thing to do, is just play around. So when you click any of these quick start prompts, I have already put in quite a bit of information here for you. And this one would help you to get going. Now, let me just hover over here and say, for example, are we on localhost? So, okay, let me come over here before we get going. I will make more videos. So the quick builds themselves, let me come over here. We will have, so they're overall called magic builds. The quick builds are, as they say, the quick builds, and they will actually cost 0.5 credits, not 1, but 0.5 credits each. And then we will have the magic builds. These builds are really long, big creators. There's an entire AI team working for you in the back end and is creating specific things. And those three are not the only ones that are coming. There's much more coming. But I will create these ones or bring them live. They are created, but I will put them live one by one after everyone started playing around with the quick builds or the chat over here. You don't need to use them. They're here for you to give you really quick results. Let's say you're having a workshop and you're like, oh man, I forgot to create a mind map or a checklist or an implementation plan. So what this will bring back to you is not a ready document in terms of it's looking pretty and everything else. You still need to do that. But I'm using Gamma.app and I will prepare another video for this. But these ones will give you the possibility of creating checklists, and they will come out in the form of, let's open up one, in a form of a file like this. So what you can do with this file then is easily take it, download it, and use it in either Canva or any of your other apps. But these ones are being processed directly in relation to your documents and to your project only. And the checklist or any of these other cheat sheets, worksheets, mind maps, frequently asked questions, swipe copies, implementation plans, all of these ones have really intense, dense context prompts in the back end, and they allow you to create specific to your project only all of these additional files to help your users or to create lead magnets or to create certain email types where you can attach a lesson plan or a presentation or a quiz. And you will be able to take those ones and then do whatever you want to do with them. They will be saved here at the bottom. And they will also come over here to the magic builds. So you will always work with them. If you don't want them in here, you can simply delete them out by clicking the little X. So I'm going to stop here right now because there's a lot of information. Just to recap quickly, Storybooks, number one, is a project-based feature. So you only want to think about projects, something like I'm writing a book. I'm going to create a course. I have a workshop. I will actually sell certain products, a new product launch on the market. I will update my website. I will, certain client folders, for example. If you work with client A, B, and C, you can put the names here. You can create client, I don't know, client A, Sophia, client B, George, client C, horse, I don't know. And you can put only the information related to this client directly in here, chat with only those documents then, and keep them in there. So they're not going somewhere else. They're all in this one folder, and you can immediately access them. In addition, you can then also create quick builds or have checklists. Or if you have, for example, I don't know, let's say you have a client and you want them to go through a certain curriculum or how to use something, you can try the checklist. You can try the frequently asked questions and say, this is what my customers normally ask me the most. And you can send him or her the frequently asked questions. You can also have a study guide. And when you click on those ones, you will see what this is all about, what it's being created, how long it will take. It comes up already with the suggestions automatically up here, and then you can just say generate study guide. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to send off this video. It's our video number one. And then I will look into further details to make these ones here work. What I would love for you to do is, it's in beta, one more time, just making sure that everybody understands this. This is a huge one. And it took a really long time to build it right now. But there might be little things where like, oh, I want to see maybe this quick build because that's a product or a document I use all the time. Or I would love to see the course creator is going to be huge because you can choose between 3 and 9 modules with each of them 3 lessons. The book creator is going to give you 200 to 400 page books. The launch plan is going to be an entire workback schedule for launching maybe something new, like a book or a workshop or a school community or a new product. So it's going to give you a launch plan, workback schedule, and so on. So give me ideas of what you do in your business, and I can then reverse engineer to see if I can give you more opportunities in the storybooks to use. All right, so I'm going to keep it here. It's a lot of information. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to post this right now to the community, send it out by email as well. And you let me know if there's anything, A, that you're missing, B, if you find some kind of errors, do let me know as well. And then we will talk about more in our upcoming lessons and videos as well. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.